It's a pleasure to be here with you today and talk about something that I don't get to talk about very often, and that is the role of propane in climate and resiliency. One of the things I think unique about our industry is we're not here to say we're the solution. In fact, we're just a part of the solution. I certainly hope we'd agree that one solution perhaps is not the best solution. You need to have a team. You need to have a group of fuels that work. Let me take a step back though. First, I would say that fuels are not binary. They're not clean or dirty. They range on a spectrum from very clean to very dirty. Solar, wind, hydro, clean. Propane, also clean. Listed as a clean fuel in the Clean Air Act of 1990, doesn't contaminate the soil or the water when it's used or stored. You'd also be right to say, Tucker, it's not a new fuel. We're looking for new solutions, and I would say you're right, it is not a new fuel. Neither is the sun or the wind. It has nothing to do with the fuel. It's really how we harness the fuel, how we use that energy, and what we consume when we make it, transport it, use it, and dispose of either the waste products or the good things that come from it. But whether I'm talking about conventional propane or renewable propane, it's about the system and the efficiency with which we use it. That's where technology tends to come in and innovation. Let's start by disasters. And pick your disaster, hurricane, fire, flood. When you see the early news coverage, usually one of the first things you see is propane responding. Propane is there, and the reason is it's usually close to the community, it's usually easily stored and transported, and it's versatile for very many uses. But look a bit closer, and then you'll begin to see it in other things, in emergency responders' vehicles, in paratransit, in transit, often even in school buses when they're moving a lot of people from harm's way back into safety. We saw that, whether they're hurricane in Florida, impact in Houston, New Orleans, recent floods and fires with Puerto Rico. We've seen how propane can come back into a community and be supplied quickly. But let's go a bit deeper. Power generation, both for backup power, many of you would be familiar with that, but also prime power, sensitive applications like hospitals, shelters, all kinds of operations where power is needed. In a residential application, we see every day now, when the power goes off, there are a group of people that must have power to run medical equipment they need, but also to do their work, to earn a living, so that they can continue to exist and maintain their lifestyle in spite of whatever is outside for them. As we look into the future, I would say some fuels that are quite prevalent today won't be under consideration. Fuel oil won't be considered. Diesel fuel won't be considered. Electricity made from coal or oil won't be considered. I think propane will be. The direct use of propane in many of these appliances is very clean, even when compared to electricity. That's really environmental justice. To deliver a clean solution that's affordable for a community and any community that can easily implement it. So finally, in addition to being resilient and clean, you have to be affordable. And this is what we don't talk about enough. And as you begin to consider public investment into clean energy, using propane places a spotlight on environmental justice. And I believe it's up to us and our communities to improve resilience, leaving dollars to invest in society, around education, around health, green spaces, letting the energy industry make private investment in things like this, leaving public investment available for the future. That's the resilient, clean, and just world that I imagine for our country. I see these clean energy sources working together as a team that reduces the environmental impact while keeping our quality of life high, creating healthier people that live in healthier communities. I invite you to share this vision with me as we build our future. Thank you.
I didn't know I would be so interested in propane. I found myself wanting to literally become an advocate, an ambassador for that level of change, and it was something I hadn't even considered.
It's in use today, and not just in your grill and not just in home heating in a rural environment, but it's in uses really that are all around us, but they're not visible.
I have several chamber members that are in that space that I need to talk to and make sure that they understand what's in front of them and how they can leverage possibly some retooling of their infrastructures and consider propane as an option.